Pine Hearts is a light-hearted and wholesome 3D narrative-driven adventure about coming to terms with grief and recapturing the freedom of exploring nature. You play as Tyke, who is revisiting a beloved childhood holiday destination, Pine Hearts, to overcome the physical and mental mountain set before him. The team at Hyperluminal are committed to making games better, and for us that includes striving to make our games as inclusive and accessible as we can. We took part in an Inclusive Design Accelerator in 2022 that kickstarted the process of us building accessible design practices into the culture of our studio. A key concern for our focus group arose around the need to have clear signposting of what accessibility options were available and where to find them. We have chosen to address this in two ways. Firstly, by creating a dedicated accessibility onboarding flow for first-time players, where they can set a few basic accessibility options before they jump into gameplay. We also aimed to provide immediate and quick access to the full suite of options from our settings menu by housing them under a dedicated accessibility heading. Currently, we have around 10 settings planned for release, with 2 in the development phase right now. These include color blocking, which applies block colors to key characters and interactable elements, making them easier to identify against a desaturated background palette. Simplified controls, which removes inputs that require prolonged or timed button presses with simpler single button press inputs, allowing easier access for players with joint pain or upper body dexterity limitations. Our future plans include options for high contrast and highlight interactable modes, settings for scaling UI and fonts and for changing font styles, as well as options for turning on contextual subtitles for animated cutscenes and full controller remapping support. Beyond Pine Hearts, we're also focused on developing an approach to sustainably delivering accessibility across all of our future games. As a small indie development studio, finding time and resources to invest in developing solutions to some of the accessibility challenges we face can be difficult. So we wanted to find a way to carry effort from project to project through our own internal settings and accessibility toolkit. The Settings and Accessibility Toolkit is a plugin for the Unity engine, which our development team has built as a customizable framework for settings that can be easily ported across projects. This also gives us access to developer-facing settings, which can help us to identify and reduce accessibility barriers as we go through development. An example of this is our color blindness filters, which allow artists and QA to turn on specific filters while testing the game, making it easier to identify issues with contrast and the readability of characters and interactables against background elements. Pine Hearts will launch in early 2024 on Steam and Switch, but you can follow our progress in the meantime via our Twitter and Steam pages.